This is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced running on the Xbox Ally X. In this video, I'm going to be going over the gameplay and performance, what you can expect while playing, and the settings I'm using in order to achieve these results. I haven't really played the original Black Flag, so I can't make a direct comparison between the two. What I can do is show you how well this version performs on the handheld, along with a few bugs that I encountered during my time with the game. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel and you haven't already, consider subscribing, like the video, and let's get straight into it. I'm going to start off with the settings first before jumping into gameplay. If you happen to be here only for gameplay, then feel free to go ahead and skip. For my settings, I am running this at 1600 by 900. Now you could definitely go ahead and push this to 1080p if you happen to be playing at a higher wattage or you don't mind the occasional frame rate dip. At 900p though, I did find that the game looked great while maintaining a solid performance. My frame rate target is set to 45 FPS, and you could definitely go ahead and set this to 60 if you happen to be playing at 35 watt turbo. Now you will need some lower settings, but I found that 45 FPS would be the best balance between image quality and smooth gameplay. Dynamic resolution is enabled so that the game can adjust the resolution when necessary in order to maintain that target frame rate. For upscaling, I am using AMD FSR set to balance. Now I'm going to go ahead and tab over. For the graphics settings, I have ray tracing set to standard and the overall graphics preset set to medium. I left everything else as is with the default values that came with that medium preset. With these settings, the game does a great job holding around that 45 FPS while running at 20 watt manual mode. These are occasional dips here and there, but overall the experience did remain very smooth. Now you could definitely go ahead and run this at 35 watt turbo mode if you happen to be plugged in, and this is going to give you a bit more of consistent frame rate. Now because of that dynamic resolution, the game isn't locked at 45 FPS. Instead, it's constantly adjusting the internal resolution to try to stay close to that target as possible. During heavier scenes, you may notice its slight reduction in image quality while maintaining that performance. If you happen to push this to 60 FPS, you are going to notice that the image quality does take a hit more than normal. Obviously, if you set this to 30, it will target 30 FPS and keep it there, and your image quality may seem a little bit better. Now, whether you're sailing the open sea, taking part in a large naval battle, the game generally maintains that 45 FPS target. The biggest drops I did notice happened within larger cities when overlooking the wide area during the nighttime scenes with a lot of dynamic lighting from lanterns and fires, and even those the dips were slightly minor when running at 20 watt. Now I didn't play it at 35 watt turbo mode because I was away from the wall, so that is something I didn't get to test for myself. However, for the game itself, it runs well overall, but I did encounter a few odd glitches that weren't performance related. Occasionally my character would stutter while climbing or refusing to dismount properly. Some of that could simply just be me and player error, but I did notice several graphical bugs throughout my gameplay as well. Now the most obvious issue happened to be this right here, where this character's cape just pretty much phased through him. It did happen within the gameplay, and it also carried on to the cutscene as well until there was another loading screen which fixed it. Now with all that said, I'm actually kind of impressed by how well this game runs on the Xbox Ally X. Now, if you're planning to play this primarily on a handheld like this, it will deliver a very enjoyable experience. I would recommend checking out a few of the reviews before purchasing, as it does have some mixed opinions online. Since I didn't really play the original Black Flag, I can't comment on how faithful this is or whether or not longtime fans are actually going to appreciate the changes. From handheld performance perspective though, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced performs very well. That's going to be it for this one. If you happen to have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, like the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.